Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for March the 23rd, 2022. So, yeah, man, overall, man, it was a really good show. Enjoyed the matches on this show. Enjoyed that tornado tag team match with the Hardys and Sting and Darby Allin versus the AFO. Thought it was a really crazy match. And Jeff Hardy jumping off of the wall, climbing up the ladder, and then jumping off of the wall with a swanton bomb through the merch table to the Butcher and the Blade. I thought that was really crazy, man. But yeah, man. I also enjoyed that main event too with the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Alex Reynolds and John Silver. And of course, I'm enjoying Bryan, Danielson, and Jon Moxley tag teaming. Enjoying that too. And yeah, we also had a great opening match with CM Punk and Dax Harwood. Such a great show, man. Such a great show with great matches too. So I say this all the time in the intro. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And subscribe to the channel if you're new around here or if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever. Because I'm here each and every single week, man. So yeah, so tonight for AEW Dynamite, we were live in Austin, Texas. And so our first match of the night, we had CM Punk versus Dax Harwood, who is still Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, who are still in the Pinnacle. So yeah, so that was official. They still a part of the Pinnacle. So CM Punk versus Dax Harwood, who is one half of the AAA Tag Team Champions. The Gun Club were at ringside, so they were sitting in the crowd. You know, the Gun Club, aka the Ass Boys. And so yeah, so Dax, he went for a diving headbutt, but he missed. And so both of these guys, they were going back and forth with strikes. And we had a leg lariat to Dax, and he kicked out. Punk was going for his Macho Man, Randy Savage-like elbow drop, but Dax, he had knocked Punk onto the top rope. A superplex to Punk, which was freaking beautiful, man. And then Dax, he had hit a diving headbutt to Punk, and he kicked out. And so yeah, so at one point, both of these guys, they knocked each other out of the ring with a suplex. So they both crashed and burned outside the ring. And so yeah, so Cash Wheeler, who was in the back, he had came out to the ring and he started cheering on Dax. And so he had a diving crossbody to Dax and he kicked out. And so Punk, he had locked in the Anaconda Vice, but Dax had fought out of it. And so yeah, and then at one point Punk, so Dax, he went for a sharpshooter, I believe it was. He went for a sharpshooter, but Punk, he had knocked Dax into the bottom turnbuckle, and the back of Dax's head hit the bottom turnbuckle. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were trading roll-ups. And we had a springboard powerbomb to Punk, which was nice, bro. And then Punk, he had kicked out. And then we had a rising knee strike to Dax in the corner. And then Punk tried to go for the GTS, but Dax, he had blocked it. And so Dax, he had locked in the sharpshooter to Punk, so shades of Bret the Hitman Hart on that one. And so Punk, he had fought out of the sharpshooter. And so to end the match, man, we had Punk, he had locked in the Anaconda Vice submission move to Dax Harwood to win the match. So Dax taps out. So therefore, CM Punk wins the match. And that was it with the match, man. Really great match. Enjoyed the back and forth between these two guys. And yeah, and right after the match, man, Punk, he started motioning for a championship. So he started doing this around his waist. So yeah, whatever championship he decides to go after, man, go after it, man. He needs to go after it because he has enough. He has enough wins to go after a championship. He has enough wins to go after that championship, and plus he beat MJF at Revolution. So yeah, so why not? Why not send him after a championship? But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, so right after that we had the Jericho Appreciation Society. So they were backstage. So the Jericho Appreciation Society, that's Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker. So they were backstage.
What a beautiful picture and such a heartwarming story of a 12-year-old John Silver meeting his hero and his idol, Chris Jericho. And now, in 2022, he actually gets to have a match against the influencer. Now, let's be honest, Hungy, you just being in the ring with the big one puts you on a different level. But it doesn't put you on my level. I'm gonna take you to school tonight, Hungy, and it ain't gonna be pretty.
We said it last week and we'll say it again. What the JAS does is we beat up pro wrestlers. And tonight I'm gonna give a perfect example. It's why a professional wrestler could never hang in the ring with a sports entertainer like me.
Yeah, we're gonna future endeavor you, Silver and Reynolds, just like we did that traitor Santana, that traitor Ortiz, and that piece of trash Eddie Kingston. By the way, you ever seen Kingston? Where are they? Give me a quick second. Let me see your take a peek. I'm outside, Eddie. Take a peek. Oh, a whole lot of nothing over here. Big surprise. You want to take a look? Let me take a look. Take a look. Ortiz, where you at, Ortiz? Come outside. Nothing. Not a nothing. Come outside, Eddie. Where are they at? Where are they at?
Where are they? They're not here, and they are never coming back.
That's right. They wouldn't dare, because this is the Jericho Appreciation Society, and that's entertainment.
And that was it, man. That was it with that. So yeah, that was funny, man. He said he was gonna future endeavor John Silver and Alice Reynolds. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was the main event tonight. Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia versus John Silver and Alice Reynolds of the Dark Order. So yeah, man. So that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had the Tornado Tag Team match, and it was Sting, Darby Allin, and the Hardys. So that Matt and Jeff Hardy versus the AFO, Butcher, Blade, and Private Party. So that's Isiah, Cassidy, and Marq Quen. So yeah, man, match was all over the place. I could not take notes, man. But yeah, but Darby, he had a tope suicida to the AFO, before the match could even start. And so yeah, so Sting, he had dove onto the AFO. So that was really cool, man. To see Sting, a guy his age, jumping off of the top rope is really impressive, man. And so yeah, that's when a brawl had broke out. And then Sting, he started hitting stinger splashes to Cassidy. Or he hit a stinger splash to Cassidy on a barricade. Ouch. Andrade, he had got involved in the match. And of course, there's a no disqualification. So yeah, so Andrade, he had hit Darby Allin in the back with a belt. And so that was in the crowd. And so yeah, so the Butcher, he had threw Darby down the concrete stairs. So yeah, so that's bringing Darby Allin back to memory lane, because he got thrown down the steps by, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky when they were feuding. And so yeah, just like what I said, man, these guys were all over the place. You had half of the people that were a part of this match, they were fighting in the concession stands or the concourse area, and then everybody else was fighting on the stage. A Private Party had hit the side effect to Matt Hardy off of the stage through a table. And just like what I said before, half of these guys, they were in the concourse area. So yeah, so Jeff Hardy, he had climbed up the ladder, something that's a part of the wall where you can stand on. And so Jeff, he had climbed on that. He stood on that. And so he had a swanton bomb to the Butcher and the Blade through a table, through the merch table. And so yeah, that was crazy, man. That was really crazy. Like when you watching it on TV, it doesn't look like it's very high, but if you're in person, man, that is high. It was really high. So yeah, so we went back to the ring. Sting, he had hit stinger splashes to Private Party. And so Private Party, they did try to go for that tag team finishing move, the gin and juice, but Sting had reversed it. He had caught Cassidy in midair, and so he had trouble picking up Cassidy. So he had trouble picking him up. They were both trying to get up on their feet. Sting was on the floor, and so he still had Cassidy in his grasp. So he tried getting up while he was holding on to Cassidy, but he couldn't. And so yeah, man, so eventually he did. Yeah, the commentary team was having trouble. They were saying they said that he went for a dragon sleeper or something like that, but that wasn't what it was. It would have been a nice cover up, but he kept getting up to try to hit that Scorpion Death Drop. But yeah, man. But if he would have went for the dragon sleeper, it would have been a great cover up for the Scorpion Death Drop. But yeah, eventually he had got back up and he hit the Scorpion Death Drop, and Matt, he had hit the Twist of Fate to the other member of Private Party. So Scorpion Death Drop, Twist of Fate combo to Private Party from Sting and Matt Hardy to win the match. So therefore, Sting, Darby Allin, and the Hardy Boys wins the match, and that was it, man. That was it with that. Just like what I said before, a crazy match, and I could not keep notes in this match because the match was all over the place. So much stuff happened in this match that I could not take notes in it. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. So right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He was backstage and he interviews FTR of the Pinnacle. So that's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, who are the AAA Tag Team Champions.
All right, guys, tremendous match to open up Dynamite. Normally, we don't see Dax in a singles match, but guys, also some problems with the Gun Club afterwards.
Tony, you just watched my best friend, my brother, go out there and do what he does every time, and that's wrestle from the heart. And then you got the ass boys who think because their dad, Billy, he has some respect that they get grandfathered in, but no, you're still puppies in this business, and you're still wetting the bed. This right here is about respect.
Tony, listen, I understand there's a portion of our audience that don't really care for us, and I get it because we've done some nasty things in the past, but there's one thing that our audience, 100% of our audience cannot say, and that's we're spoiled brats, okay? If there's one thing I can't stand, it is a spoiled brat, and these boys think they come in my business, my profession, and they take my spot. We are the absolute best tag team on this planet, bar none, top to bottom, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, every night. We are the absolute best, so I refuse to call you ass boys. That's a little gimmick name. I'll call you Colton. Oh, no. I'll call you Billy's Sons. We'll see you next week on Dynamite. Top guys, out.
Guys, let's go back to you.
And yeah, man, that was it with that. So they challenged the Ass Boys or the Gun Club, whatever you want to call them, next week. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that, man. So yeah, so right after that, man, we had a tag team match. And it was Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley with William Regal in their corner. William Regal, of course, joined the commentary team versus the Varsity Blondes. So that's Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. with Julia Hart in their corner, who was unresponsive and who was feeling down. At first, I didn't even know she was even there. But yeah, she was, she was upset. She was sad. And she still had that eye patch on. She wasn't even paying attention. She wasn't even paying attention to the match. She had her back turned the entire time sitting on the steel steps. So yeah, man, so Moxley and Bryan, they took out the Blondes. And then Moxley, he had a power driver to Pillman. And then Griff, he had broke up the pin. And then Mox and Griff, they were going back and forth with strikes. We had a running knee to Griff from Bryan. And then we had a paradigm shift to, I believe it was Griff Garrison or Brian Pillman from Moxley. And so yeah, man, so we had repeated strikes to Griff and Pillman from Moxley and Bryan. And so to end the match, man, we had a rear naked choke to Griff Garrison from Moxley to win the match. So Griff taps out. So therefore, Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson wins the match. And yeah, man, just like what I said before, man, week after week after week, Bryan and Moxley, they are continuing to look strong, man. They are great together, man. They are great together. They make a great team, and I cannot wait to see them go after those tag team championships. And so yeah, so right after the match, we had Jon Moxley. He had spoke.
I'm a very, very lucky man. I'm very blessed. I've been fortunate enough to compete against the best in the world, and I've been fortunate enough to compete, to learn from the best in the world, but there's only one man whose opinion I ever cared about. His Lordship, William Regal. And the seal of approval from Lord William Regal is a mark of excellence. It's a badge of honor, and it wasn't easy to get. I earned it through pain and blood and torture and dislocated joints. So I wear that badge, that Blackpool badge of honor, with pride. Just like my friend, the perfect wrestler, the great American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
We too, we were forged in combat. And it's like his Lordship said a couple weeks ago, you want to get in the ring with us, you want to stand across from us, you better step up or get stepped on. But this message is for anybody who thinks they have what it takes to stand beside us.
Ooh.
For anybody who thinks they have what it takes to ride with the three most sadistic individuals in this business. We ain't giving out no free passes. If you think you got what it takes to ride with us, you need to reach deep down into your soul and find that place where you love pain. If you want a badge of honor from the Blackpool Combat Club, there's only one way to get it. The hard way.
So yeah, that's their new name. It sounds like it's their new name, the Blackpool Combat Club. Wow. So yeah, man, so whoever wants to step up to them, or whoever wants to ride with them, or join them, you know, they have to go through pain. You know, they got to go through a type of initiation in order for them to join. So yeah, man, man, who are they gonna add, man? That's what I want to know. What other people are they gonna add to this group? But yeah, man, yeah, I'm really excited, man. Cannot wait to see what's next with this, with John Moxley and Bryan Danielson and William Regal. Cannot wait, man. Cannot wait. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. That was it. And so yeah, so right after that we had MJF. He came out to the ring with Shawn Spears, and he spoke.
Wardlow, it is such a shame that you couldn't get the job done last week. I mean, really. Especially because, unlike you, I'm actually a man of my word. Unlike you, I honor my business agreements. You see, when I told you a couple weeks ago that if you won that TNT title, you could keep it, I meant it. That's why it's so sad you just weren't good enough to beat Scorpio Sky.
And so, yeah, so right after that, he started talking about CM Punk.
I had you beat at Revolution, just like I had you beat twice in Chicago. So what did you do? You decided to cheat to win. Let me make something perfectly clear. Don't know where, don't know when, but there will be another match. And when there is, I'm gonna give you the most embarrassing loss of your entire career. But even then it won't be over, Punk. It won't be over until I attend your funeral and piss on your grave.
Stop it.
Oh my God. So, oh man. So yeah, so right after MJF was talking about Punk, you know, attending his funeral and pissing on his grave, MJF, he has said that Warlow is a pig. And I'm reading this from Ringside News. MJF, he has said that Warlow is a pig. And so the crowd, they started chanting Warlow. And so MJF, he has said if it wasn't for him, then nobody would know who Warlow is or know who Warlow was. And so, yeah, so MJF, he has said that Warlow costed him the most important match of his life. MJF has said that Warlow has signed a deal with the devil, and that deal is ironclad. MJF, he has said that he will make Warlow life a living hell. MJF, he started to threaten Warlow's mom, and MJF, he has said that he owns Warlow. And so, yeah, so that's when Warlow had came out. Like, once you bring somebody's family into it, man, that's it, man. So, yeah, so Warlow had came out to the ring, and he took out the security team. More security guys had came out there and held Warlow down.
And, good luck, fellas, all you T-shirt security boys.
T-shirt security boys.
Look at now, they're just...
Hold him down! Get the ref! Get the ref! Get the ref!
6, 7, 8, 9. They can at least 10 men to restrain Wardlow. Yeah, but
you don't get it, do you, you silly little swine? You don't work for AEW. You work for MJF. And MJF doesn't want you around here no more.
So yeah, so MJF, he has said that he will pay Warlow he will pay him. You're not under contract with AEW, you're still under contract with me. And, MJF, he has said that he's going to pay Warlow to stay at home until everybody forgets he ever existed. So that sounds familiar, man. WWE, they do the same thing with their talent. And so, yeah, so that's when the security team, they had took Warlow to the back. And so, yeah, so MJF, he has said that the Pinnacle has never been better because, he has said that, there were talks that the Pinnacle are losing members and all that stuff. And so MJF, he has said that the Pinnacle has never been better. So MJF, he had asked Spears, what do we always say in the Pinnacle? And so Spears has said that when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. And so that was pretty much it with that, man. This whole entire segment reminded me of WWE, how they treat their talent and all that. With the paying the people to stay at home and, not using their talent. Like the talent asking for their release and WWE not releasing them and instead sending them home only to collect a paycheck. And then, when they sit at home, everybody forgets about them. The fans, they forget about that said talent. But yeah, man, it reminded me so much of that, of WWE and how they treated their talent and how they not treat it, but treats their talent. But yeah, man, so that was pretty much it with that, man. We will have a match with Warlow and MJF. And yeah, so MJF also, he wants a piece of Punk, because he felt that he was robbed. And so right after that, man, we had a backstage interview. So Tony Schiavone, he interviews Wheeler, Yuta, and the best friends. So that's Trent, Barreta, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy. So they're backstage. And so, yeah, so they're about to address everything that happened last week with Wheeler Yuta trying to align himself with Bryan and Moxley and Regal.
All right, guys, a week ago we saw William Regal slap Wheeler Yuta. First time the best friends have been together since that time.
Well, Tony,
Whoa. Cut him off.
I never liked you. But these guys trained you. They brought you into this company, and they let you live on their couch. And you're going to repay them by running off and trying to join the William Regal Tough Guy Club? I'm done with you.
Trent, I love these guys to death. I never really liked you either, though.
Oh.
And, I'm not trying to be the best friend I can be. I'm trying to be the best wrestler I can be. You either get that or you don't.
Ooh.
All right, guys, let's go back to the ring.
And that was it with that, man. So I said this last week. Wheeler Yuta, join Moxley and Bryan and Regal, the Blackpool Combat Club. You'll be better off for it. But yeah, man. Yep, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match, and it was Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal. So 2 former Ring of Honor World Champions. And so yeah, the crowd, they were going crazy for this match. They were split. Half of the crowd was cheering for Cole, and the other half was cheering for Lethal. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were going back and forth. Lethal, he had hit a backbreaker turn into a flatliner to Cole. And so we had 3 tope suicidas to Cole. And then at that point, Red Dragon, Fish and O'Reilly had came out. They were standing on the stage. And so Cole, he had threw Lethal into the steel steps. And so Cole, he had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture-in-picture, of course. And then Lethal, he had locked in the figure 4 leg lock to Cole, but Cole, he had grabbed the rope. And then Fish, he had got on a ring apron to try to interfere in the match, but Lethal had took him out. And so, yeah, so Cole, he had rolled up Lethal. And so Cole, he had grabbed the tights. And so Lethal, he still kicked out of that. And then Cole had super kicked Lethal. And then Lethal had caught Cole with a cutter. And then Lethal tried to go for the lethal injection, but Cole had caught him with a super kick in the back of his head in midair. And so, yeah, so Cole had hit the Panama Sunrise to Lethal, and he kicked out. And then Adam Cole tried to go for his finishing move, the boom, to Lethal, but Lethal, he had dodged it. And so O'Reilly and Fish, they distracted the referee once again. And then, yeah, and then from behind, Cole, he had low blow Lethal. And to end the match, man, Adam Cole, he had his finishing move, the boom, to Lethal to win the match. So, therefore, Adam Cole wins the match, and that was it, man. Great match, man. And so, yeah, so right after the match, Adam Cole, he spoke.
Because last week in that trios match, when I was pinning Jungle Boy and staring at Hangman Adam Page, I saw fear. Because he knows he's looking at the man who's going to take his world championship.
So, yeah, so he had called Page a coward, and he called him out. So Cole had called Page out to the ring. And, you know, he said that he doesn't have the guts or the balls to come out here. And so that's when Page had came out. Adam Hangman Page's music had hit, and he came out to the ring. And yeah, he had took out Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. So he brought a belt out, and so he started hitting them with the belt. Page, he held his own against Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly, but the numbers had caught up to Page right after Adam Cole had low blow Page. So it was a 3-on-1 beatdown. And then Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage, they chased off Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. And so Cole, he had took the AEW World Championship. He had stole the AEW World Championship from Page, and he ran off with the Cole had ran off with the AEW World Championship. And so yeah, man, and that championship looked good on Cole too, man. Around his shoulder, looks really good on him. And so yeah, so it looks like we are getting a trios match. So sort of a rematch. So yeah, it looks like we're getting a rematch. Well, not a trios match. It'll be a 4-on-3 at that point. But yeah, man. Looks like we're getting another trios match with Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly versus, I'm guessing, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. Yeah, we'll know later on. So yeah, man. So right after that, we had a vignette for Lance Archer and Dustin Rhodes.
We have the opportunity to once and for all end the curse of the Rhodes family.
Don't you dare utter the Rhodes name out of your mouth again.
Dustin, do not act like you do not know who I am, because last time that we stepped in a ring together, I put you down hard.
You've knocked me down 1,000 times before, but guess what? I got back up!
You are just like everybody else, and everybody dies.
Friday night Rampage, right here, Austin, Texas, my home. I'm gonna kick your ass because monsters die too.
That was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviewed Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti.
Tony, you're right. 3 weeks ago, I lost the TNT title. But it is what it is. We can't change what we can't change. I don't have the title, but Tony, I still have this. This ring. When Sammy Guevara's inside of it, with the belt, without the belt, I promise you, I will give you a show like you have never seen before. I will do something so crazy that it makes you people who paid your hard money for a ticket to stand up in your chair and chant, holy shit.
Holy.
And I know. I've heard it my entire career. I can't do this style forever. The bumps are gonna catch up to me. I'm gonna pay for this when I'm older. If I'm gonna pay for it, screw it, because it's worth it, baby.
And then Ty Conti, she had got the microphone.
Eu vou te meter a porrada assim que eu encostar as minhas mãos em você.
Wait, what?
I got this translation. Bitch.
Oh.
You're gonna get your ass kicked. Just like you did your whole fighting career. Eu vou te meter.
Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, they came out and they interrupted Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara.
We have Tiny Tim and his girlfriend, Lucha Horace.
Oh.
We won't stay at the top.
Dude, how in the world he get away with saying stuff like this, man? I don't know. Man, dude.
Of the combat sports mountain, looking backwards at the bodies we've buried. So unless you guys have any interest in giving them what they're asking for,
he walked away.
That answers that question. You guys can kiss that match goodbye.
And so here's the thing, though. Dan Lambert, he had grabbed one of the TNT championships and he kissed it. He kissed the TNT championship, and keep this in mind. He kissed the championship.
Hey Dan. I know we've been living rent-free in your head since you got here. But if you only knew what Ty and I did while wearing that belt.
Oh my God.
Then you know we now live in your mouth too.
Oh. Oh man.
Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti having the last laugh here on Dan Lambert.
So yeah, that was it with that, man. This was entertaining, man. This is really funny. But yeah, you guys know. You guys know. If you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had a vignette from Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks was the FTW champion. And Swerve Strickland.
Hey, Ricky, baby boy. All the little sweet talking that you're doing, especially about the new talent that's coming in here in AEW, taking over your supposed show.
Nah, I'm not with that. So, since we're gonna be in your hometown this week, this Friday on Rampage, Swerve isn't only just gonna take your pride away from you, he's gonna take that FTW championship away.
So let me get this straight. Swerve, you're gonna challenge me in my second home of Austin, Texas for the FTW title, right? I'm gonna go ahead and grant your wish. So how about you show up? And you can bring Keith Lee if you want to, because I got Powerhouse Hobbs behind me. Because there's only one way to do it, and that's the absolute way.
Absolute.
We're not gonna call this Ricky's hometown. Nah, we're gonna refer to this as whose house?
Swerve's house.
Swerve's house.
But yeah, man, that was it with that. So for the FTW Championship, it's gonna be Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland on Rampage this Friday, and Ricky Starks' second hometown, because he's from New Orleans, Louisiana. So his second hometown is Austin, Texas. And so yeah, man. So right after that, we had a match, and it was legit Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet. So this is their rubber match. And so yeah, so Hirsch, she had Spartan kick Red off of the ring apron, which was really funny, man, during her entrance. And so yeah, so Red, she started to fight back. She had a step up Hurricanrana to Hirsch off of the steel steps. And so Hirsch, she had to control the match during a commercial break, picture-in-picture, of course. And then Red, she started to fire back up. She had like a double. She had caught Hirsch in the back of her shoulders with the double knee. Hirsch had hit a German suplex to Red off of the second rope. And so Red Velvet, she went for a finishing move, the mix to Hirsch. And she did hit the move, but Hirsch, she had rolled under the rope. So yeah, so right after she rolled out of the ring, she had grabbed the turnbuckle from under the ring. And so the referee had saw it. And so the referee had took the turnbuckle away from Hirsch and threw it away, like put it off to the side. And so while the referee was putting it away, Hirsch had pulled out another turnbuckle from her tights. And so she had blasted Red with the second turnbuckle, and she threw it away to win the match. So therefore, Layla Hirsch wins the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, Hirsch attacked Red, and Chris Statlander came out. Chris Statlander, who was dressed in all black, she had came out and she took out Layla. And so yeah, so that was pretty much it with that. Looks like we having another match with Hirsch and Statlander. But yeah, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Jade Cargill, who is the TBS champion, with Smart Mark Sterling in our corner.
All right, guys, with the TBS champ, Jade Cargill, Smart Mark Sterling coming up. Her 30th match, a chance to become 30-0. But who's the opponent going to be?
Well, actually, we're not here to talk about the opponent. Actually, Jade wants to talk about after the match.
My huge celebration. Take notes, Mark.
Got it.
I mean, we need money falling from the ceiling. We need green confetti. We need green Lamborghinis pulling up.
Green Lamborghini.
I mean, it's going to be so much better than, what's that girl's name again that I beat?
Thunder Rosa.
Whatever.
Better than Thunder Rosa.
But most importantly, we need some fine exotic dancers.
Exotic dancers.
And you know we need a section for my baddies because they can't be anywhere. What am I going to wear? I mean, I need something fit for a champion like me because nobody is me. I need green trim, and let me take care of that, and you keep taking notes. And Tony, cut the shit.
Well, you heard it here first. A celebration fit for a queen.
Guys, back to you.
That was it with that, man. And so yeah, man, so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He tried to interview Thunder Rosa, the new AEW Women's World Champion. But Vicky Guerrero, she had interrupted with her excuse me's and all that stuff. I'm telling you, man, with Vicky Guerrero and her excuse me's, I feel like I'm watching SmackDown back in 2010, 2011. Man, Vicky Guerrero is so loud, man. She is so loud that she don't even need a microphone, bro. That's how loud she is, man.
Don't insult my state. No, because you can take your fake green card, start the backstroke, and return back to Mexico.
Vicky, first of all, I got my citizenship in the state of Texas, and the city of San Antonio.
Oh, God.
Hysterical state of mind, you think?
Oh. And so Nyla Rose attacked. So Nyla Rose attacked Thunder Rosa from behind. And so Nyla Rose had smeared Thunder Rosa face paint and just started licking Thunder Rosa's face paint off her hands. So, ugh, really disgusting. But, yep, that was it with that, man. We should have had a proper celebration for Thunder Rosa and our AEW Championship win over Britt Baker. But yep, we didn't get it. But yep, man, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, before we get into the main event, let's talk about Rampage and let's talk about next week's AEW Dynamite. So yeah, man, so for next week's Dynamite, or for AEW Rampage, we have Dustin Rhodes versus Lance Archer. And then we have Dark Order's number 5, Allin Angels, and number 10 versus Red Dragon. So that's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And also Nyla Rose will be in action on Rampage. And also we have Hook. So QT Marshall's certificate of accomplishment to Hook on Friday. And also we have the FTW Championship match. That's going to be Ricky Starks, who is the FTW champion, versus Swerve Strickland. And for AEW Dynamite for next week, we have Darby Allin with Sting in his corner versus Andrade El Idolo with Jose the Assistant in his corner. And also for next week's Dynamite, we have a tag team match. It's going to be FTR. So that's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, who are the AAA tag team champions, versus the Gun Club. So that's that's Colton and Austin Gunn with Billy Gunn in their corner. Those are all the matches that are announced for Rampage and Dynamite for next week, or next week's Dynamite. And so yeah, man, so right after that we had the main event. So it's the Dark Order. So that's John Silver and Alex Reynolds with number 10 and Allin Angels in their corner, versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. So that's Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia with Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker in their corner. So yeah, man. So of course the crowd, they always sing along to Judas, Chris Jericho's theme song. And so Matt, he had grabbed the microphone and he said that the fans should appreciate Jericho for allowing them to sing that song, because if it was up to him, you know, there wouldn't be no Judas and all that stuff. And so yeah, and so we start off the match. Jericho, he had shoved John Silver in his face. And so Silver, he started to fire up and started fighting back. We had a Tope Suicida brainbuster combo to Jericho. And then at one point, Jericho, he had acted like he got thrown into the steel steps. And, you know, he faked it. He faked the attack. And so he got number 10 and 5 ejected from ringside, which is really smart, because it ended up working out for them. It ended up working out for the Jericho Appreciation Society. So that was a really smart move. And so yeah, so the Jericho Appreciation Society took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, Jericho, he had missed the Lion Salt. We had a hot tag to Silver. He took out Jericho and the rest of the JAS. Silver, he had hit a diving crossbody to Jericho. And Jericho, he barely kicked out of that one. And so Jericho had hit the code breaker to Silver, and Silver had kicked out. A series of double team moves to Garcia from Silver and Reynolds. And then Silver, he had took out everybody, like every single member of the JAS. And so Hager, he had grabbed Silver and he slammed it on the mat behind the referee's back, so the referee didn't see it. And so yeah, so Jericho, he had grabbed Floyd the Blat, Jericho, he had grabbed Floyd the Bat from under the ring, and he had hit Alex Reynolds with the bat from behind. So he hit him in his back with the bat. And to end the match, man, we had Daniel Garcia, he had locked in a Scorpion Deathlock to Reynolds to win the match. So Reynolds tap out. So therefore, the Jericho Appreciation Society wins the match. And that was it. And as they should win. The Jericho Appreciation Society, they should win, because they're a new group. And as a new group, or a new faction, every member should look strong. And yeah, the Dark Order, they didn't look bad either, because the Jericho Appreciation Society, they cheated to beat them. So yeah, as heels should do. Anyways, heels should always cheat. So both of these teams look strong. But yep, that was it. That was it with the main event, and that was it with AEW Dynamite. Overall, really good show. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed that Tornado Tag Team match. And yeah, man. Yep, that was pretty much it. And we also had some great matches along the way too. During the show. But yeah, man, that was it with AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man, if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new around here, or if you're watching Knee Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. If you missed last week's review of AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here in this corner, and the link to that video will be down below in the description, so make sure you click it if you missed it. And yeah, man, and I'll see you guys on Friday for AEW Rampage. And yeah, man, and once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.